Welcome back to ANZ Stadium as our grand final telecast continues. Live and exclusive around Australia, around the world here on the Nine Network. A capacity crowd for the two Queensland sides competing in the grand final. The Brisbane Broncos, 6 times to the grand, and they've won it every time. The boys in the chopper with a bird's eye view of the Olympic Stadium. And here is the man of the moment, Jonathan Thurston, joint captain of the side with Matthew Scott. They've never won a grand final. 30,000 odd fans from north of the border have flocked to Sydney for the grand final. They joined in 1995. They've been to the grand final on one occasion. And this man, he dreams and he prays to take his side to their first grand final victory tonight. Jonathan Thurston. And then on the other side of the equation, it's the last hurrah for Justin Hodges. This is just about the biggest rodeo anywhere in the world. Broncos up against Cowboys. For Justin, it's his last hurrah in his 251st game. He debuted back in the year 2000. The Olympics had not been staged, and Kathy hadn't won the 400 when this kid debuted, as I said, 16 years ago. Corey Parker alongside him, Rep Player of the Year. One of those players that Gus referred to as having grand final experience. 5 of them, including Adam Blair, who was playing for Melbourne, were in the 2006 grand final, the last one that was taken by Brisbane. Jessica Mauboy will sing the anthem. Let's go to the ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem to be performed tonight by Jessica Mauboy.
Always going to be a wonderful rendition of the anthem. Jessica Mauboy.
Very big Cowboys fan she is, Ray. We know where her loyalties lie tonight.
Well, it's the first time for everything they say. Sam Thaiday jogging away to his position down in the deep. First ever grand final played between Queensland-based sides. Ben Hunt, where's the 6 for Brisbane? First time these two clubs have met at this venue. And first time both teams in the grand final, captained by two young Indigenous men. Unfortunately, the dream can only come true for one of them. Jared Sutton is the main referee. Ben Cummins is the assistant. This has been a wonderful build-up to the Telstra Premiership Grand Final.
Right now, John.
Cowboys right to left then. There's the kickoff. Let the party begin. Boyd it is. 10 metres out from his own line. Played in 2 grand finals and won both of them. In fact, he's the only Churchill medalist on the ground tonight. He's got a chance of equaling Bradley Clyde if he can take out another. Parker then, just inside 30, coming down the middle. Matt Gillett, just inside the 40-metre line. So Thaiday taking the first set towards its completion on tackle number 5. And Hunt it is, it sets himself to kick. And Scott makes a belated challenge on him. And this is young Felt over on the right side. He'll play the ball back for Lachlan Coote to go to the other winger, Antonio Winterstein, who of course was with the Brisbane side. In fact, his debut was against North Queensland as they reached the 30-metre line, and the ball played by the Cowboys centre, Linnett. Now for Tamo. James played his first grand final at 14 in open company. Can you believe it? And when you see the size of him, that's probably not hard to believe. Lachlan Coote, the youngster from down at Penrith, kicks, and Boyd is slammed to the ground in the opening exchanges by Linnett and Cooper. Now for Kahu, just outside the 20-metre line. The 2015 decider with Adam Blair now, 35 away from his own line. So they're both playing it very, very close to the chest in the opening exchanges. Brisbane on their second set. Played by Parker. Hunt it is. That's a rebound off a Cowboy, and now Antonio Winterstein goes charging back, and Thurston has to clean up a loose ball.
Well, that was an early win for North Queensland. All the kicks so far, 45 metres out from each team's try line. Haven't seen a pass thrown anywhere except out of dummy half. The Cowboys now through Morgan. Go 2 passes wide to O'Neill.
So Granville at number 9. This is Tamo. Granville scooting out from dummy half. He's got Morgan with him, and Morgan's pass goes to ground. Referee is ordering a knock-on.
That was really good there from James Tamau. Big hit up, quick play the ball. And you saw how quickly Jake Granville jumped on the opportunity to get out from dummy half and surge down a short side. And it really caught the Broncos napping. Down, quick play the ball up. Jake Granville out from dummy half. Plenty of support around him. Now they're putting pressure on a retreating defence. And Morgan was half into a gap there. His pass goes astray. Jack Reed did a good job to come in and cut him down. But some nice play, positive play there by the Cowboys.
Jake, hold, Kane, hold.
He's a much bigger man, Morgan, than a lot of people imagine. Very fast. He's scored a couple of hat-tricks of tries in matches he's played against Brisbane.
I think he'd be the fastest player out there, Ray, and he's built like a back rower, so it is a nice combination. Corey Parker now over the halfway and does well, picking up 8-10 metres.
And the penalty goes in favour of Brisbane.
And it's going to provide the first opportunity of the night for a high kick. Here comes one inside the 6 tackles.
Well, you wouldn't know this game was being played in Sydney between 2 Queensland teams because the noise is deafening. And I'm not quite sure which team has the favouritism with the crowd.
Wow, this is a decision.
42 out in front.
Well, they're putting a big premium here on an early lead, aren't they? Maybe thinking there won't be many penalties in the game. Maybe there won't be an opportunity for 2 points later. I really think the Cowboys would be quite pleased about this rather than having to defend their own line.
The man taking the shot at goal broke the point scoring record for the Broncos during the course of this season. It was held by Darren Lockyer, 11.91. Corey Parker in vintage form late in his career. The new leader there and looking to put first points on tonight.
So Parker, 40 metres out, right in front. A strange decision. Spider-Cam takes us through and the ball is between the uprights. So penalty goal opens the points. Brisbane by 2. Brad Fittler, atmosphere, what's it like?
It's absolutely wonderful, and Gus was saying you could be excused to think you're in Queensland. I've got to say, not just the atmosphere, the ground. The ground is like you're at Suncorp. It's absolutely perfect. There's very little dew. I don't know what temperature it is, but it's just nice, Rabs.
I just can't wait to see who they were on, and then Corey Parker got booed then a little bit when he was lining up the kick, so I think it's slightly towards the Cowboys.
Oh, Thaiday picked up and hammered into the ground. Granville and Taumalolo. And now the other of the Fro Bros. It's gone away to Milford. It's gone to Reid. They've opened up some space. Oates is sprinting down the left side. He's inside the 20. He's going to go all the way. Corey Oates, 16 days short of 21 years of age. Built like a second rower. And they've gone 90 metres, the Broncos, to score a superb try. Steve Renouf, you'd remember that.
Well, it's a great offload here, Ray, on the Harvey Norman replay. It's Adam Blair. And Anthony Milford saw that they were a little bit skinny on that side. Through the dummy, Jack Reid, Drew Lachlan-Coote and Corey Oates. A big man, plays in the back row, but does a great job on the wing as well. Gets the opening try, and 6 could become 8.
First try in the grand final. Scoreline number 2 for the Brisbane Broncos, his 14th try of the season, Corey Oates. From the restart, Broncos through the opener. They now lead 6 points to 0 after 7.5 minutes.
Well, what an amazing passage of play. After a monster tackle on Thaiday, the ball found Blair, who somehow found Milford, and then it was a case of Reid to Oates, and Parker puts the extras on. It's 8-0 at the 8th minute of the 2015 Grand Final. Darren Lockyer.
Well, that shows a lot of confidence. You're coming off your try line just after you scored 2 points, and you want to throw an offload. But look how effective it was. You had 3 players, total 8. Then Milford sees he's got numbers. Cole Felt comes up out of the line, and Corey Oates, he's good, this kid. But look at the way he gets down this sideline. He's like he's a winger, but he's a back rower.
And Ray, that's the 21st time from 27 matches this season Brisbane have scored the opening try. Paul Green spoke about how quick they are out of the blocks. They are again tonight.
It's very much a tale of 2 cities. That statistic, Brisbane are the best side to start games, and I would suggest that Cowboys are the best at finishing games.
Mistake.
And here's a mistake from Brisbane coming out of their red zone. It's a knock on. Here's a chance for the Cowboys. Matt Gillett puts it down.
Well, that's an explosive opening by the Broncos. Gillett, heavy contact in the tackle, and he just rolls over the ball and it comes loose. That first try, Corey Oates, you don't see many of those in grand finals. He will remember that run, that 80-metre run for the rest of his life. Big crowd, 80,000 people, first ever grand final. and someone gives you 80 metres with no one in front of you, just what a winger ordered. He'll remember that forever.
Holden sponsoring Spider Cam through the finals, and maybe for the Cowboys' first try, they're over. They're in to score. It's Justin O'Neill.
And it's set up by the hooker, Ray.
Granville.
Through the dummy, fooled the defence, poked his head through, or his whole body through, and found support on his inside. What a hit back.
What a grand final opening. The hooker, the number 9 at the back of the scrum. Wooshka, straight through. O'Neill, athlete, scores.
Well, Justin O'Neill, and this is the way they pack into scrums nowadays. The hooker packs in at lock, the centre packs in the back row, and Jake Granville found a little gap around the back of the scrum. O'Neill backed him up. Harvey Norman replay. What a hit back from the Cowboys. They've had 2 tries in 10 minutes to open this grand final, and you can see the surge of relief from the North Queensland players. Look at the embrace here, where they got off to a horror start and suddenly they've hit back and it all feels okay again. That's brilliant stuff.
Former Melbourne Stormer, one of the few with grand final experience in the Cowboys side, and Thurston, he puts the icing on the try. Gordon Tallis, the Cowboys have got themselves 6.
Yeah, certainly have. And Jake Granville and Justin O'Neill, what a combination. But look at Jonathan Thurston and the respect the Broncos defence have for him. They've got eyes for him out the back, and it's beautiful. Back inside, and that's what you want. That's the hit back. That's the confidence the Cowboys needed.
Well, we could almost hear them here at the Olympic Stadium in Sydney, from Longreach to Mount Isa to Blackwater and Emerald. They rose in all of those centres in northern Queensland as the Cowboys grabbed a converted try back. Now they bring it outside the 20-metre line. At 8-6, we're at the 12th minute of the grand final now. The ball travels across to Lowe. Ethan Lowe over on the right side, the eastern side. Now for O'Neill again. And Parker and Thaiday make the tackle. It comes to Taumalolo, and then Scott got a bad pass. He reinstated himself as the best front rower in the game, didn't he, in Melbourne the other night. Magnificent performance from Scott. Hasn't played in the grand final. He was 18th man. Here they are again. O'Neill getting it away. They go to the right side, but he's in a touch. Kyle Feld, touch judge, put the flag up.
I think that was Corey Oates again.
Change over, boys. He's dead.
Who's scored one, but now may have saved one. Lachlan Coote, the good chase, gets it to the outside. O'Neill straight onto his wingman. And Corey Oates, who's just run 80 metres to score one, makes up a valuable 10 metres to prevent one. Great save.
And very dangerous from Brisbane, not contesting that bomb as Corey Parker takes it just short of his own 20-metre line. Lachlan Coote, he had the eyes for the football. Easy catch, Blair now.
So Blair playing the ball on his own 30-metre line, and they spread the ball across to Boyd. So play by Darius on his own 40-metre line, and Friday runs it at Granville and takes it to the halfway line. McCulloch then kicking out of dummy half. Leading try scorer in the competition, leading tackler, I should say, in the competition this year. Young McCulloch has played in every game together with Anthony Milford for Brisbane. Played over there by Felt in the centre of the ground. Thurston dropping it back into the lap of Linnett. Getting towards the centre of the ground again. And Scott it is that shovels it on to Lowe. So 8-6 after 14 minutes in the Telstra Premiership decider. Thurston for Lachlan Coote coming in from the back. The player just outside the 30-metre line. Goes away to Thurston to kick, and he puts it high. Down into the corner with Kahu underneath it and safe. Jordan Kahu on the right side, down in the northwestern corner, and Corey Oates on the opposite side of the ground.
Well, Ravens, if there's a message that's going to go out from the Broncos camp, it's going to be that they can test these make sure that they put some pressure on Jonathan Thurston, the best kicker in the business.
It's Granville again driving in the tackle, picking up the ball carrier and forcing him back.
Played them by Hodges. And then Thaiday to the line and away, and Milford goes through. Milford's out to the 40-metre line, looking for support. Jack Reed arrives, is able to break the tackle, and will play the ball 19 out from the Cowboys line. Here's Hunt getting an awful pass. Turns it back onto the blind side, and McCulloch goes back to Reed, and Reed puts a little kick in, and Coote will play the ball about 5 metres away from his own try line.
This is the way you play our game. This is the way you should be approaching the game.
Problem over there on the far side with Kyle Felt clutching at his right shoulder. Peter making a valid point there. This is the way we play our game. There's a penalty going to the Cowboys coming out of their own end. And of course they served notice in week 1 of the finals, didn't they? These two clubs, I remember Bennett and Green were both very proud of the exhibition they put on that night. This was Milford.
Yeah, it's the second time now the Broncos have been able to move the ball in their own half of the field. They're not renowned for that. They haven't done much of it all season. But tonight on a couple of occasions they've been able to shift the ball to the edge, and it has caught the Cowboys napping.
The tap free to be taken by Granville, who's been in just about everything so far in the game. Now for James Tarmo. New South Wales origin player. He's on his own sim out there tonight in that department. Played on the 20 by Scott, and it's come over to Thurston, and there's his partner, Cooper. So Gavin playing it there, 9 out, they come to the corner. There's a little bit of work to be done. And there's that attempt by Antonio Winterstein on camera. Nothing's over until the big girl starts singing, is it? Not in this game these days.
I think the most impressive start for both sides is the fact that they're playing with a lot of confidence. They're right into their game. They're moving it, they're supporting the ball carrier, there's no negativity. Ben Hannant has got a replacement card ready to come into the action. But both sides are looking really confident in their work.
Here's Parker taking the point of the play. 41 metres out from the Cowboys line. They come down the middle, and Hunt just in a little ruck play there with Milford. And you play at 31 out, so they gain 10. Milford just a little bit dusty as he gets up, and Hunt is knocked on.
Wow.
That's very unlike Benny Hunt. It wasn't a difficult one, not the way I saw it.
No, it's just a reminder. You've got to concentrate on every little part of the action. The minute you assume everything's going to be all right, that's when you can spill it.
And this is Milford getting hit with James Tarmo coming in. That's why he was a little bit groggy when he got to his feet. Matt Scott looks like he's gassed out there at the moment, as we see the Ben Hunt mistake, a rare one. I would imagine Ben Hannant will come on for Scott.
So O'Neill playing the ball just inside the 40-metre line, his own end of the park. Now for Taumalolo, who admitted in the newspapers today that he struggles with this tag that's been put on him, the similarity, if you like, the resemblance of Sonny Bill Williams.
And in fact, it's Taumalolo who's coming off, handed into the game.
Play by Tarmo, they're attacking again, and Thurston finds Lowe, the second rower that works on the right side with Kyle Felt, and now Scott, Tarmo, Thurston, and Thurston is taken by a desperate McCulloch, and diving on the top was Blair. This is the last thing for the Cowboys, and Cooper it is. He goes short to Cooper, and then Cooper's picked up and piled into the ground.
Yeah, Jonathan Thurston tackled midfield on tackle 5. That left it up to Coote for the 5th tackle option. He elected to run it rather than trying to be too adventurous, and the Broncos have to work it away from their own line.
So the changeover of possession, and Brisbane very keen to play the ball quickly. So they're keeping the pace up. It's almost like they are inviting fatigue into the game, as you would. But here's Milford now. He's proving elusive, but you don't have to be told that. He's made a wonderful impression on the Brisbane side and the number 6 jumper. Oh, Hodges got a parting gift then from Gavin Cooper. And now Hunt puts a kick in, and Kyle felt he almost lost that. He'll play the ball back on his 20-metre line. Jack Reed is there, together with Alex Glenn. Glenn can pick him up from that left thigh, being supported by a heavy strapping. And now it's with Winterstein. And that line is the 30-metre line. Cowboys into the ground. Now for Linnett. Former Rooster. Now for Hannant, and he rumbles it up over halfway, and Thurston goes to Morgan. So Morgan to play it. 42 metres out from the Brisbane line. Thurston puts a kick in. A little bit of pressure on him. I think Wallace is out there. This is Kahu with the ball. Just inside the 20-metre line. Brad Fittler, a comment on the sideline.
He's some type of athlete, Matt Scott. We've just been watching him. He absolutely runs himself to a full stop and takes a breather. He never had to run that last set. Then here he goes again. He just winds up and goes for another set of 6. 22 minutes into the game, and wow, I don't know, he's still standing.
Wallace. Now for Cooper. I beg your pardon, for Parker. Taken by Lowe over there. McCulloch offloading. And Friday. Spider Cam takes us down the ground again. As Ben Hunt gets a ball away to Reed, and Reed unloads the ball. It went forward, the referee said.
That's what I enjoy. Sorry, Gus. That's what I enjoy about Ben Hunt. Last tackle, he catches a football, he looks up. He doesn't kick just because it's the last tackle. He sees that there's space between himself and the defenders, throws the pass. Unfortunately, went behind Jack Reed. But that's good vision. He doesn't do what he's expected to do just because it's the last.
So Matt Scott is off now. Taumalolo and Scott has been replaced. The Cowboys get a penalty here to bring them again.
He's 10.
From outside their own end, and Jared Wallace was the offender. So they'll kick this over into the eastern grandstand.
Yeah, Albert.
Yep. They find the line
Line, boys.
10 metres on Brisbane side of halfway. It is 8-6. Brisbane got the first try, a 90-metre effort for Corey Oates to score. Bolton is out there playing the ball. And now it's away for Tamo, and Tamo wedges the ball down towards the 20-metre line. They're running towards the northern end of the Olympic Stadium, and Bolton is with it now. So Scott Bolton, one of the longest-serving members in this team. Here's Thurston linking with Morgan. Morgan cut down 9 metres out. Thurston puts a kick on that's there for him to pick up himself, and it should be 6 more.
1 foot and hold.
And it has been indicated. So the Cowboys with a wonderful opportunity here. Bolton driving it to within a couple of metres of the line. Oh, goodness, he's close, isn't he? So Granville Tamo! James Tamo has plunged over beside the uprights. Referee doesn't hesitate. The Cowboys fans celebrate.
And the Cowboys go to the front, and I reckon their first try was a set play, and so's this second one. The two front rowers combining here on the Harvey Norman replay, with James Tarmo attracting some defenders as Ben Hannett, going through and making it much easier for James Tarmo to get one-on-one with Sam Friday next to the posts.
Again, Granville involved out of that behalf. Decoy run was Benny Hannett. The ball went to that man on screen, James Tarmow. North Queensland fans, make some noise for your free team. JT with the conversion to come. North Queensland leading 10.
Well, we're back, and we're back with James Tarmo. Just his 10th try, second for the season. So Thurston with a 10-8 lead now for his side. From right in front, and he reached it down into the main body of the Cowboys fans up there at the northern end.
In the semi-final 3 weeks ago, the Cowboys threw a lot at the Broncos on their own goal line, but I thought they were a little bit guilty of going sideways, kept trying to go around them. Tonight they're punching through them, even off the back of the scrum. Little switches of play, Thurston from one side of the ruck to the other, and that one threatening to go wide, but hitting the lead runners up on the advantage line near the try line has produced a try for Tarmow. Change in tactics by the Cowboys, very effective.
And we've noticed over the last 4 or 5 matches for the Broncos, Gus in particular, the Broncos love defending on their own line. The Cowboys have obviously worked on that, picked out the players they wish to attack and targeted them.
So this is Tarmo, just inside the 20-metre line. Came to Australia from his birthplace of Palmerston North. And of course then swore his allegiance to, as I mentioned earlier in the telecast, the New South Wales side. He's gone on and, of course, played for Australia. So players getting up towards the halfway line where Thurston puts his kick down, and it is going to be let go by Calhoun just inside the 20-metre line. Gus?
Very confident, the Cowboys. They're really into their game. And as a result, the Broncos have sort of been taken out of it for the last 15 minutes. The Broncos haven't had any field position whatsoever. The majority of the game being played at their end of the field. In fact, 65% of the game, 65%, has been played in the Broncos' half. So the Broncos have had very little attacking football, and the Cowboys are controlling it nicely.
So Broncos with the feed. That line is the 20-metre line down their own end. And will be played just outside that 20-metre line there by Corey Oates. Now this is Alex Glenn. So the verdict coming up on Thursday night at 8:40 with Karl Stefanovic and amongst others Mark Latham. There should be a fair bit of fire and brimstone there as well. Here's McCulloch using Hodges, and Hodges is taken by Cooper, cuddled into the ground. And now to Parker, he's able to run a fair way before he got it back to McCulloch and then to Hunt, and Hunt drops it down into Wallace, and Wallace is able to gain about 7 metres. 5 tackles gone. Hunt on the blind side. A kick that ricochets. Comes down, it's with Morgan. And he's ordered that it's gone forward off Morgan.
Mate, it's not a charge down once it comes off your bloke.
For Brisbane.
Yeah.
It's a knock on.
And a good opportunity. Now,
First one's a ricochet, that one isn't.
for some time, I've had question marks over the Cowboys' goal line defence. This is really the first time in this game they're going to defend a full set of 6 from 20 metres out. Melbourne Storm scored a couple of soft tries against them last week on the edges. See what the Broncos come up with.
And you would have seen Corey Cross-Jason getting ready to come on. Here's Brisbane, though, with Boyd coming in from the back. He put a fend on Thurston, who comes again. And together with Linnett, they put Boyd down. And Darius having a long look at the officials out there as Milford goes across, and that is Mitchell Dodds. So right in the middle of the park, and it's a penalty going to Brisbane.
Let's get up.
Too long in the tackle against Tamo.
Yeah, Cowboys really trying to slow those play the balls down.
And here's Parker getting an effective fend on one. Got it back to his captain. Keep in mind he wants 1 for 100. To play the ball right up on the try line at the southern end. They go long to Hunt, and then they drop it down to Jared Wallace. To play it on the second tackle now. It's come to Hunt, and he goes behind Glenn. He's found Milford. And the Cowboys put numbers into Milford. So Brisbane again with great field position. And here was Parker. He went back, and then Gillett tries to crawl under the tackle of Cooper. Played quickly to McCulloch. To the middle of the ground goes McCulloch. To the uprights, looking at the try line.
Corey Parker was in under the posts. Under the posts.
Last tackle there. As it goes bouncing away to Glenn, then to Hunt, now to Jack Reed. Throws the ball. Morgan's got the ball for the Cowboys.
Forward. Change over here.
Here it is, Mitchell.
It's gone forward.
Mitchell, right in Corey.
He's ordering changeover because the ball went forward.
Well, Andrea McCulloch gets out towards dummy. Corey Parker's charging at the line. Look at that. He goes straight through a hole there with the short pass. He was in space. And McCulloch took the dummy.
Here's Hammond driving the ball out towards the 20-metre line, his own end of the ground. And now Taumalolo is back and able to make another 12 metres outside the 30-metre line. Played then back to Cross-Jason, who's come on for Granville. And now it's with Gavin Cooper. And for John Thurston now to pass along the line for Bolton. And Bolton takes it to the centre of the ground. So Wallace underneath, Glenn up the top with Parker, and then Coote drops into that first receiver position and kicks down to Kahu, who spins out of one, but he can't beat Cooper. So here's Boyd now. He runs at Hammond, and he'll play the ball on the 30-metre line down his own end. Corey Oates is able to make a few beaters down the short side for McCulloch and Milford to combine. Milford tries to get between a couple of forwards there, Hannant and Cross-Jason. Again, the player in question gets up and takes a long look at the referee. This is Mitchell Dodds. On the 30-metre line then. And Hunt kicks, he's got a chase on it from Gillett, but it's gone straight down to Felt. He's running over towards O'Neill. He's put down over there by Glenn on the 20-metre line.
Yeah, you need to make that tackle, Alex Glenn. He might have created an overlap with that run, and I guess a sign of how quick this game is. Corey Parker on the sidelines after half an hour. Adam Blair back into the action. Parker often goes 80. Jonathan Thurston makes a mistake. Gillett picks it up. And nearly goes through, and does go through.
Yes, he does. He goes through, gets it to Jack Reed, and Jack Reed, he gets over the line to score a grand final try.
Okay, Bernie, we're on tackle 0. Have a try.
Jared Sutton.
Want to make sure it's a lost ball from Thurston.
He wants to check how Thurston parted company with the ball.
Yeah, that's a long way back in play. It's brilliant work from the Broncos, who seize upon an opportunity. Thurston going in, ducks his head, comes down. Now, I say that's a lost ball, but they will make a case for a strip, given that the arm did drag down on the ball. At normal speed, I just think that's lost possession. Too bad, loose carry, see you later. And Thurston's not blowing up. He's not blowing up at all. So it should be a try.
Yeah, what's worse for North Queensland is the shoddy defence when Gillett picks it up. McCulloch is a man who touches the football in the tackle.
And here we go. We're now looking at the play here. Great work. Gillett pulls through the line. Reed juggles it, pushes off Coote, gets it in, gets the ball down. If we're looking at grounding, Broncos fans, get ready to cheer because we're going to get green lights here and we'll be all locked up with a kick to come. Great work by the Broncos. That's how a lot of big game tries are scored, seizing upon an opportunity.
The try, scoreline number 3 for the Brisbane Broncos, his 11th try of the season, and English international Jack Reed.
So the Broncos have assembled down there in a little posse. Jack Reed, the try scorer. Wonderful player. 5 test matches for England. Is Jordan Kahu will attempt conversion to put Brisbane back in front for the second time in the game. 12-all currently, and it's looking okay.
Yep.
There's another 2. 14-12, Broncos, Wally.
And it'll be interesting to see who the Broncos keep targeting when they're carrying the ball forward. The last couple of sets of 6, they've been running at Jonathan Thurston. The disappointment is all over his face, having turned over a possession there. I'm sure he'll want to get that out of his mind. But Brisbane will continue to do it, if for no other reason than tire him out.
Keep behind it.
The example of playing things in slow motion as opposed to actual reality is perfectly exemplified in that instance there.
Yeah, I don't even agree going back to review it. I mean, if Gillett gets tackled with the ball, that vanishes into the ether. They'd already ruled play on.
Jason, quickly, Jason!
All the way. Rory.
Great game, though. Really enjoying it, as we knew we would.
Mitchell Dodds. He and Matt Gillett, talking of Matt Gillett, they debuted and I'm pretty sure the first round of 2013 they made their maiden appearance, and it was against the North Queensland Cowboys. Here's Wallace, not held in that tackle, so he got up and pinched another 5 metres. Bolton eventually with Morgan making the tackle as Hunt puts a kick in, end on end, and a favourable bounce for Coote. Goes across then to Thurston. Thurston beat Hodges. Captain on captain. Got the ball away. Winterstein, and pulled down 32 metres out.
Brilliant football.
Now Linnett. Centering play for Thurston. Morgan. O'Neill. Look out. Coote is coming up on his inside. Coote a dummy half now. Taumalolo puts his hand up. Takes the play within 5 metres of the line. 3 minutes to go before the break. Bolton now. Scotty Bolton. Playing the ball down at the northern end of the ground. Here's Morgan. Getting it to Lowe.
Last tackle.
2-point ball game. Half-time, 2.5 minutes away. Last tackle. Went through 2 sets of hands to Thurston and Kahu. Right up above them. A beautiful take by Jordan.
All the way,
the number 5.
Well, that's great football from the Cowboys deep in their own half of the field. When you're coaching against North Queensland, you're actually more worried about those types of plays where they get around you very quickly at their own end. And then great defence from the Broncos to recover and defuse the situation. End-to-end stuff, good.
So 4 tries in the grand final in the first half. As we go through the 38th minute, Milford surrender tackle on the 40-metre line. Oates and Reed for the Broncos. Tries O'Neill and Tamo for the Cowboys. And you people up in Townsville, I guess, patronising heavily the Leeds club. I was of the belief that they clear the car park for a live event up there each and every chance they get. Here's the Brisbane bench, and Parker is back there at the moment.
Well, Rabs, I can understand the Broncos want to slow things down a little bit, perhaps. Putting that ball into touch, to me, that's total confusion. I would be expecting them to put the ball high, put a bomb across field, place enormous pressure on the Cowboys at worst, perhaps even come out with a ball that was 2 or 3 metres from the line. But that really is just handing a little bit of a soft option to North Queensland.
Adam. Just
Under a minute to go. This will be the last set of 6, you would think. And the Cowboys will get last say. Now Thurston's come across to feed the ball. He was standing out in the 5/8 position, but he's now going to work the scrum. They'll get a full set of 6 in here to try and get a last second try.
And they're standing by for when they blow that halftime siren for Darren to talk to one of his 2006 teammates, Sam Thaiday, as he makes his way off the field for halftime. So here's Thurston now looking for an outside-inside ball and doing that to Lachlan Coote. So cost Jason Taumalolo. Taumalolo pulled down by McCulloch over the top of a Blair tackle. Cost Jason for Thurston. Thurston goes out this time to Cooper, who kicks. The bounce is all important, but Milford got a great bounce and runs it away a la Jared Haynes style down towards the northern end. Siren, half-time. Broncos leading by 2, and Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, Sam, how did you see that first 40?
The first 10 minutes was absolutely outstanding by us, but can't wait too many penalties there in the middle of that half. Let them march up the field, and we gave them opportunities, and they scored 2 tries. So just got to make sure we go back and stick to our process, play flat and fast through them, and keep on turning the big boys around.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Darren. Coming up, Holden half-time. Brad, Peter and Gordon will join Cameron Williams to take us through the VB hard-earned highlights. You're watching the NRL Grand Final live on the 9 Win and NBN networks, plus more than 100 nations around the globe taking the telecast of the big dance. Here's Holden halftime. So we bring you back to ANZ Stadium. We're at half-time, repeating Brisbane leading 14 points to 12. A match that is being played at a frantic speed. Jonathan Thurston then taking the Cowboys out for the second half. They've chased down a deficit many times this year. In fact, they've got the best record in the competition for playing catch-up football. Twelve times they've trailed and they've won 6. As far as Brisbane is concerned, they've led at the break 16 times. They've only been beaten once. They're run down by the Bulldogs in round 22. So the tension is mounting. Broncos got the first try with this youngster in the foreground, Corey Oates. And then the Cowboys came back at them. Broncos on their way. Justin Hodges with 40 minutes of football to end a 16-year glorious career. Will he be holding the Probyn Summons Trophy at the end of this, or will it be Jonathan Thurston? Look at this. This crowd is just amazing. We put our toe in the water with this sort of situation back in 2006. And everybody said, oh, gee, they'll have trouble selling that. But this is a really, really wonderful atmosphere. Great crowd.
Well, forget about trying to sell tickets to the game. This game is selling our game to the world. It's a brilliant exhibition of rugby league and how the game should be played. Enjoy the next 40 minutes. We're about to crown a champion.
Cowboys receiving the ball back down on the northern end of the ground. That's the river end of ANZ Stadium. As Taumalolo takes a run, but he doesn't gain too much ground. He's just outside the 20-metre line in the centre of the park, taken mainly by Blair. Bolton away, and then Lachlan Coote gives it to Gavin Cooper. Cooper seeing a fair bit of ball, but probably not as much to his side as it was going to Ethan Lowe's side of the ground. Here's Taumalolo now, up towards the middle of the ground with a strong run. Glenn contributing in defence with Jared Wallace for Cost Jason to put it on to Thurston. That's a ricochet, and it's come down to Cost Jason, but the referee is stopping it.
Yeah, penalty, offside. Referee ruling that the ball was played at.
Played it though, Rory. That's the difference.
Go through, Jerry.
Well, that's always a very interesting one. It all centres on whether the player offside actually plays at the ball, and Cost Jason, by merely picking the ball up, that is playing at the football.
Well, years ago they had a rule that if they touched an opposition player after the kick, everyone downfield was onside. They tend to do away with that these days. If you're in front of the kicker, you're in front of the kicker.
So here's Milford now. Put a short ball away to Alex Glenn. It was a good dummy. He fooled me. I was still looking for the ball on the outside. But here's Blair now. 15 metres out from the try line. There's a chance on here for Brisbane. Milford short into Reid. 14-12 in favour of the Broncos, and they get a penalty.
You grab that arm. You grab the arm and hang on.
Said you held onto the arm carrying the ball.
Interesting decision here from the Broncos. Wayne Bennett's teams over the years, whenever there's 2 points on offer from a penalty, they tend to kick for goal.
Jack Reid is hurt here, I think.
Yeah, he's had a few injuries, and he lands on the point of that right shoulder.
He's the most important part of this team. We've heard Darren Lockyer talk about him, particularly in defence. Darren talks about him in glowing terms. Tonight, of course, he got the second try for Brisbane after some fabulous lead-up work by Matt Gillette.
Well, they've given the ball to Kahu, and now they have signalled they are going to try and take the 2 points.
Now, the reason for that, even though they're only 2 points in front, 2 to 4 mightn't seem like a lot. But what it does mean, if the Cowboys get a penalty in goal-kicking range, they can't level up. They're probably compelled to go for the try. So, you know, that extra little 2 points away in a game like this has been proven with the test of time that if you keep taking them, you're going to be glad you've got them in the bank.
I wonder as well, Gus, whether if Jack Reid wasn't injured then, would they have taken the quick tap? Cowboys defence had plenty of time to get their breath back.
See that man sitting above Kevin Walters there. We've just got a shot, not quite at, there he is, Ron Massey next to his son, Paul, invited to the box by Wayne Bennett. Massey has been a mentor to Bennett for a long, long time, and I can almost believe that Massey would have said, take the 2.
Mentor to all of us, Ray. What a great man.
You played under him at Parramatta, and Jack Gibson, I understand. But I think Massey was a believer. If there's an invitation to, you take it. And there is the 2 points off the boot of Jordan Kahu. We have a 4-point ball game. Brisbane in front. Crowd likes it. Jordan likes it. North Queensland now waiting to strike back.
Well, it's important enough you make a decision like that. Brisbane have done is to get your kick from the restart. Can't make an error. Let's get the ball down the other end. Build on that 4-point lead.
Carl Felt is the man that takes the kick off, and bringing it back is Mitchell Dodds. Broncos yet to use Nikorima and Ava Hangawi. And here's Blair with the ball. 22 metres out from his own line. Hannant and Bolton. The exchange front rowers still out there. Cost Jason and Hannant delivering that tackle for Milford. Oh, Jarrett Wallace, he felt that from low. Just under the short rib, I would imagine it got in his Milford. As this game gets deeper and deeper, time-wise, you're going to see the Milfords exploding out of their coot. And he's met by Reid, and he drives him back with the help of Glenn.
Well, you've got to be super alert when Milford is at dummy half. Both the markers on that occasion went the same way. They just invited him to sneak down the left-hand side and nearly into the channel behind the play of the ball. Winterstein now taking the ball forward, 35 out, own line.
Taken by Wallace, cost Jason for Hannant, and Hannant dived on by Blair. So right on the halfway line, and Taumalolo runs at McCulloch. Cost Jason then to the short side. And Coot goes high down into Kahu's corner.
I like that, Kahu's corner. It's got a ring to it, hasn't it?
It certainly has. Like a corner store.
Yeah. You can get anything there at Kahu's corner.
As we follow with Holden, Spider Cam, Justin Hodges. And here's Mitchell Dodds. Taking it up towards halfway. I fancy when Paul Green was in charge of Winner Manly and he won a couple of comps in the Intrust Cup, this ball bouncing away, it's going to be played at. They're going to bring it back. And Carl Felt it is.
He doesn't kick an awful lot, Andrew McCulloch, but he got that one right. Got it to stop in the in goal area. The chase was good.
I just want to make the point that Mitchell, I'm pretty sure Mitchell played under Paul Green when he was at Winner Manly. Here's Bolton with the ball now. And the 15 Dodds is down there low. Blair up the top. Now Taumalolo, and he picks up Thurston. They find a player up the middle, Coot. Now it's Morgan. Morgan's had it one-on-one, stolen. It might be a case of play on. I thought there might have been a second in the tackle and dropped off. But it's play on with Boyd for Brisbane. McCulloch, Gillett, Hannant. Forced to make the tackle on his own. Now here's Blair, back for Hunt, and back then for Milford. He beats one, he beats two, he kicks, it goes out towards the winger Oates, and 6 more tackles for Brisbane. 15 out from the line. Trouble for the Cowboys. Glenn. Brisbane player, that's Jack Reid. Here's Blair. Now Wallace. 3 metres out from the line. Reid is on his feet.
Bit of space.
They go to the right side for Hunt. Oh, a collision. Jonathan Thurston and Matt Gillett.
Here it is, here it is.
Well, it's an advantageous one for the Cowboys because it forced the error. Thurston just coming up and putting his body on the line against the back rower. Ethan Lowe, speaking of back rowers, taking it forward.
Here's that collision. And Gordon Tallis on the sideline. You would have felt it from down there.
Yeah, certainly did, Ray. I tell you what, the Cowboys, they need to hold on here. They need to bite down on the mouthguard. The Broncos, they're testing their mental toughness here. They're tightening the screws. They're picking up the intensity.
Morgan now sweeping it. Thurston puts a kick down towards Kahu, and he's able to beat the oncoming centre Linnett. It's a record finals attendance, 82,758. Well done, everybody that's contributed, and particularly you people that have travelled thousands of miles and paid a fortune to get here. 82,758. So that would mean the aggregate of finals crowds would also be a record. Parker. McCulloch for Hunt. And he jabs this ball. And it's gone to Felt and then to Coote. Gillett making the tackle. Winterstein.
Anyway, so far tonight, Anthony Milford has been the man. Brilliant one-on-one strip, then he nearly sliced through, and if his kick hadn't have deflected, it might have been another try for Brisbane down in the left-hand corner for Corey Oates. He's causing all sorts of problems. Then Hunt bulldogged to the ground.
Morgan out the back. It was taken by Thurston onside. Taumalolo, Cooper taken. Hodges 32 metres out from the Brisbane line. A 4-point ball game in favour of Brisbane. And setting himself is Boyd. That's a brilliant take. Lachlan Coote showing no sympathy at all. Flopping in on top of the fallen player.
Walk away. Time off.
And that has flared the temperament of many.
Walk him away, please.
Darius Boyd is up.
Thanks, mate. No.
Tonight's official attendance, ladies and gentlemen, there it is.
It was a big competition, the two fullbacks. Boyd will go down, he's on the ground. It's fair game, and Coote comes down. Now, whether or not his forearm has come in contact with Boyd's head. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's probably not where you need to be hit.
Yep.
It's fair enough to hit him, but you can't hit him in the head.
Tackle one. Jonathan, hold!
Well, they're actually going to say play on. Well, there you go.
He thought he was injured. Don't jump. Don't jump.
There you go. 16-12 was the final score in the semi-final. It's hard to imagine that'll be the final score in 30 minutes' time. But the Broncos have got to be thinking, if the Cows don't score again, we carry the trophy. Long way to go, though.
Parker. McCulloch. So we needed a crowd of just over 81,000 to break the all-time final series crowd. 351,000 set in 2009. So
you okay to come in, Betty?
Rugby League has broken that record. They smashed it. We'll take a break.
Mate, let's form up, boys. Don't break early, Darius. Keep the heading, Lachlan. Outside leg up, Darius. Stay in, Jack. Out. Yours.
So welcome back to the grand final coverage here on 9. It's delicately poised here. 16-12 in favour of Brisbane over their little brother, the North Queensland Cowboys. An enthralling game. Played by Hannant now. I notice that Matt Scott is back out there. And Asiata has gone into the game. So now Green has used all his bench, and here's Cooper running off Thurston. Playing the ball on the 20-metre line. Last tackle play. Coop puts a kick on it. Bounces friendly for Kahu. And he'll play the ball 12 metres out from his line.
Thurston is continually going to Cooper. He's giving him the short pass. You'd have to think he's setting them up for something a little bit later. Either a show and go or maybe something across his face out the back to another support player, but it's been the same play over and over again.
It looks like Offa Hengawi is out there now on the 30-metre line for Thaiday. A run out the back for Hunt onto Milford, onto Reid, and Reid is jammed in defence by Felt.
Yeah, if he'd have thrown the long ball there, Corey H was away. Looking at a penalty there. Referee didn't fall for it.
So Felt was lucky not to get penalised there. And Hunt it is that puts a kick high, and it bounces in the field of play and goes over the sideline.
Got a swap, mate?
Well, this is where we were 3 weeks ago. A game with neither side giving an inch. When one does something good, the other one comes roaring back. The physical confrontation, you can feel it. You'll be feeling it in your lounge rooms. There's not a great deal of tactics going on out there. They're just belting away at each other, looking for a chink in the armour, looking for one man to miss his assignment, one man to miss a tackle, one man to drop a ball. The closeness in the scores creates tremendous pressure.
Justin O'Neill with that carry. Ray, you mentioned the bench. Paul Green, he's got some big guns there for the last 20 minutes, and Scott takes it forward. He's got Tamalolo back there now, and Jake Granville. They could make a real difference the last 20.
Good offload by Hammond, and here's Cooper. Taken low by Thaiday, up the top by Gillett, now for Thurston. Inside ball for Asiata. Cuss Jason across the head of Hammond to Thurston, and then Cooper, and now Coot, and now Linnett. 9 metres out from the line on the last tackle. And here is Coot with a kick towards O'Neill. Oh, Oates went up, the ball's come down, and it's with Lowe. And the tackle count restarts. Morgan challenges the line. Brisbane shouldering arms and holding him
Morgan,
up.
Tackle one. Time off, tackle one.
Well, at least Corey Oates there made his error going at 100 mile an hour. That's what you want to see, the confidence of young people attacking the ball. And even though he came up with a 6 again, he didn't allow the Cowboys to catch and run. He got in their way.
Hammond now. And you don't need to be told that situation is dangerous now for Brisbane. Here's Morgan, and he's able to offload to Asiata.
Great defence.
8 metres out, the tackler was Parker. Cost Jason drifting and giving it to Thurston. The block runners have gone. It's gone out the back to Coot.
Great defence
and again Hodges the defender. Thurston one more time. Back on the inside for Scott. And he'll play the ball on the last. And Thurston runs from the right side to the blind side. Then he runs around, makes an extra man. Ball goes off Thurston. It goes backwards. It's with Coot now. He knows he's got a kick. He does that. Milford's underneath it. The ball is still there. Boyd watches it go over the dead ball line, but it's going to go off Brisbane anyway.
Line dropout called, Ray.
Yeah, no, it's a line dropout. I don't think Darius, though, was of that knowledge.
Well, it's still outstanding defence from the Broncos. 2 sets of 6 in a row. Let's have a look at this. O'Neill and Milford. Well, O'Neill's knocked that on. O'Neill's knocked that on. It's all Cowboys.
Well, they might reverse it.
They're going to reverse it. The Broncos are walking out there anyway. They're putting pressure on. They're saying we're not going to kick it back to them. Look at the Broncos. They're out near the 20 line. They're saying we're not going to go back to them.
The Cowboys are standing their ground.
It's a big call, this.
Well, I'm pretty sure O'Neill's touched it there. It's knock on, end of section. It was on the first replay. We saw it. Boyd doesn't touch it before it goes in goal. So even if they want to argue it was a knockback, it's O'Neill that knocks the ball dead. So it's a 20-metre tap by the way.
Holly boys.
Given the state of mind that Darius was in, the opinion that he held, that was a brilliant piece of work by him. It makes no difference because if O'Neill's knocked it on, that's the end of the section. It's a 20-metre restart optional. Reach in goal by the attacking side.
We haven't had him too many 7-tackle restarts in this match. The kicking has been to absolute perfection.
That was great defence by the Broncos.
Nicarima, sorry Ray, Nicarima out there now. Just keep an eye out for him out of dummy half. He's the young man there with the left knee heavily strapped.
Now Parker gets it over towards centre ground, where he's met by Hannant, and now it's Thaiday. Got through one. He's taken by Lowe, and he tries to shrug away and get a ball away. Here goes Nicarima. Now it's with Parker. Parker driving up the middle, down to the 20-metre line. Does better than that. He's 18 metres out from the Cowboys line. Nicarima for Hunt. He shaped in. He went out. Milford's with the ball. 10-metre line. Last tackle for Brisbane. Played for Reid, and Reid goes on to Hunt, and Hunt. He puts a kick into the in goal. Thurston's taken it brilliantly.
Go long, Benny. Here.
Coot comes sprinting back. Tamo's about to come back. The Cowboys are out near the 30-metre line. Thurston uses the blind side. The only man available was Kane Lynette. And that's Winterstein's run that takes them into opposition territory. Darren Lockyer, your thoughts?
Yeah, Matt Scott's back on for the Cowboys, so is James Tarmow. Now, Sammy Thaiday, Corey Parker, there's only one more experienced forward for them, that's Adam Blair. A decisive play might come from the halves, but I think it's the battle up front that's going to decide this one.
Asiata in a struggle with Nicarima and Parker and Thaiday. 25 out, right in front of the uprights. Cost Jason. Now a kick from Thurston. Boyd's got it covered. Has to play at it. Good weight on the kick from Thurston. They'll get the ball back.
That's really good play from Jonathan Thurston. I think he just needs some thinking music. That was one of those ones, well, if I can get a repeat set here, I can have a little bit of a think about what we do next. They've come and thrown a lot at the Broncos. He'll be thinking about the game 3 weeks ago, what didn't work then, what they've practiced now, what he's seen tonight in trying to prize them open and get the try to get back on level terms. But you're watching a master go about his work here.
Let's have it.
Yeah, we haven't seen any early kicks. That one was on the 4th tackle. Brisbane will be very wary this carry.
Yeah, he was just giving himself some thinking time. He just thought, I need another set of 6. I've got to think about this for a minute.
Let's go, Alex.
And he's back there. There's a lot of things going through his mind.
Come on, Ben. Let's go, mate. Let's go.
He knows that they want to try and play through them, not around them. Might be time for him to dummy and go. Lachlan Coote, a little inside pass. Bring Morgan with him on a short ball. He'll have a few plays he wants to go to.
The dropout taken by Morgan. Asiata goes away to Thurston. They're attacking on the first play. Coot gets it on. Winterstein. Ball goes to ground with Winterstein. 12 metres out from the line. Cooper now. Cooper will play it. And Thurston jockeys himself around to here. Middle of the ground. Scott with this carry. Thurston now drops over to the left side. He's got a couple of blocks in front of him. Tarmo is one of them. There it is with Thurston now, and it's gone back for Linnett. 2 metres out. So Lachlan Coote drops into first receiver. And he shows it once. He puts a kick in for Morgan. He got a rebound. It's been played at, so the tackle count restarts. So the advantage is with the Cowboys now. Not on the scoreboard, but certainly another set. Tarmo. 7 out from the line. Cost Jason. Scott. Thurston. A dummy, and then a give out to Morgan. Reid made the tackle with Milford. Cost Jason for Thurston. Inside ball Asiata. He'll play it 5 20 minutes of the game to go. Because Jason for Thurston. Thurston for Linnett. He couldn't handle it. And it's gone over the dead ball line.
Yeah, across the face of Cooper again. Cooper's been his go-to man all night. And with his big play, here comes Cooper. Missed you, hit Linnett. He's in the hole. He's over the line and spills his lollies. Thurston cannot believe it. And neither can the coaching staff. Oh no, he says. I've set them up for that all night.
If Jonathan Thurston was a gearbox, let me tell you, he is now at the heaviest gear he can play at. He's animated, he's urgent.
Yeah, and he needs a bit of help around the dummy half area, and that's why Jake Granville is now coming to the sideline. They need a threat out of dummy half as well to take that emphasis away from him as Ben Hunt goes flat to the number 16. That's Offahengawi.
He's tackled right in the centre of the ground.
Gee, that was brilliant play by Thurston. So unlucky.
Hodges grabbed by the scruff of the neck by Thurston. You people watching this game in other parts of the globe, this man Thurston is our number one player. He won the Player of the Year again for the 4th time on Monday. He's won the Golden Boot. He's won everything, to put it simple. Brilliant player. 20 metres out from the line. As a matter of fact, he lives in Townsville. There's a lovely island off the coast called Magnetic where he spends some downtime. If he can pull this out of the fire, he'll own Magnetic Island.
Well, his next option, now that he's thrown that ball out in front of Cooper to Linnett, is to have Lachlan Coote sitting out the back of that. Next time they might come in on Linnett, and he might be able to get Lachlan Coote around the outside, 2-on-1 with the winger.
Here he is again, and he's mesmerising, isn't he? As Morgan gets it away, and it's thrown by O'Neill. Morgan scoops it up, it's gone to Lowe, the kick is in. And bouncing down favourably for Boyd, who comes to Lowe and beats Lowe. Comes to O'Neill, and O'Neill puts him on the ground. 21 out from the Brisbane line.
How good is this?
It's Corey Oates now.
And all of a sudden, Brisbane just look a little bit tired. Bit bunched. Sam Thaiday will look to inspire. Gets rid of one. That was Granville, but they come again.
Ball
Tried to offload. Whoa! He's kicked out in the tackle too, Thaiday. He's got Tamo.
Here's Linnett. 25 metres out from the Brisbane line. Asiata. Are the Cowboys coming to get you? Granville for Thurston. Back for Lachlan. Coote goes himself. Puts the ball over the line. It might be a double movement. I'm not absolutely sure. Referee said no.
Over the line.
No try. That means that he fancies the ball, or the ball carrying arm has been on the ground with a tackle on it.
Yeah, and there was a second motion after that. He just couldn't help himself. Thought he was through. I think plenty of people at the ground thought he was through. Bang. No, it's a double movement. It wasn't momentum that took him into the in-goal area, or takes the ball into the in-goal area. Hits the ground there. Then the tackle is stopped, and there's the second motion. Penalty.
You got it right there, Sterling. The only thing that could have saved him would have been if the ball had not made contact with the ground.
He knew it. It was just desperation of the situation. It's hard not to reach out and put it down when you feel yourself heading towards it. In fact, he'd have done well to pull up short, but he just had to do it. He had to put the arm out and try it once.
The kid from Windsor, Penrith Jr., Lachlan Coote.
Well, the captains have both had a little bit of time to talk while they were waiting for that decision. I'm sure the conversation inside the Broncos camp would have been about making sure that we get into space, play the game at the other end of the field.
He's at full pace, Thurston, Wally.
He's ready. He had some doubts over his fitness, but he's given himself that 100% marking.
I don't think I've seen him like this. He knows this is marked urgent. It's the biggest prize available that he hasn't, with Townsville or the North Queensland Cowboys, achieved. So this is Nicarima. He played in the 2004 grand final off the bench with Canterbury. But he makes no secret that this is the jewel in the crown to win a premiership for North Queensland. And Hunt it is that rolls it in. 15 metres out, a break and back.
Stand up. Don't leave the scrum, though. Okay, let's go, Brisbane. Darius, bind him in for me, please.
Welcome back to the Telstra Premiership Grand Final. Telecast on 9 on Relay to Win and NBN around Australia. And going out to 100 nations around the globe. And it is really what everybody expected. Two brilliantly coached sides with a lot of talent playing exactly the game we wanted them to play.
We're under 15 minutes to go, you know.
That's all right, penalty.
High tackle from Blair on
Still
Granville.
That's the mark here.
Under 15 minutes to go. It's one over the top. Big man on little man. But another opportunity for the Cowboys to come roaring back. The Broncos did this in Brisbane in the semi-final. They defended and defended and defended and protected their points to win. The Cowboys coming after them.
Tamo. So Granville sweeping it away to Thurston on the left, and Scott joins in, and so does Coote. The ball goes to ground. 6 more tackles. It comes down to Cooper. Gavin Cooper will play the ball.
This is extraordinary.
25 metres out. That was 0. Now it's Scott. And that is the first tackle. They're 15 out in the middle of the ground. Asiata. Here's Thurston. Now it's come to Morgan. Now it's gone to O'Neill. This is fabulous defence from Brisbane. Corey Oates and Jack Reed. Morgan, Thurston, across Tamo. It's gone to Asiata. 10 out. Second tackle gone. To Thurston over on the left now. Coote comes in again. It's gone loose off Linnett. Brisbane's ball, but they didn't gain an advantage.
Yeah, the Broncos have got them covered everywhere. And now you're starting to see a little bit of frustration from the Cowboys. They've got to remain patient. That is outstanding defence by the Brisbane club.
And what they're doing a lot of the time, Gus, they're standing on the inside playing the slide defence, enticing Thurston to throw the ball wide. Make it look like the gaps are on the outside rather than the ball available for the intended receivers.
I think they've got to start using him as a little bit of a decoy down there now, and Michael Morgan needs to take on some responsibility, get Granville going his way. Taumalolo is on his feet now.
Just right there.
He needs to be out
Cody,
there as
hit him
well.
else down for
They
me.
need to take some of the load off the 7.
So McCulloch is waiting to come back into the game for the last 12 minutes or so. And Brisbane still 16 to 12, just 2 points in the second half, 14 to 12 at the break. And now Boyd looks up, looking in vain for a gap. He takes the tackle and plays the ball, and Blair is held. He's able to unload, and it's with Parker now, and he could do the same. And Parker it is that is taken to ground on halfway. Brisbane finally getting out of their own end. They've taken a battering, and they've been brilliant in defence. And here is Hunt dropping it down. Oh, Feld had to go at it. Reid will get him. Reid tackles him in goal.
Mark down that moment right there. Mark that moment down right there as a potential turning point in the momentum of this second half. Not such a great kick from Hunt, but Felt takes a lunge at it. The ball hurries back into the end goal. Look at Jack Reid streaming down. Jack Reid's been down and out twice, but there he is on the kick chase, forcing the line dropout. Punches the air. Come on, boys, he says.
And Ray, how often do we see a team with all the football, throwing everything at the opposition, and that opposition comes down the other end? Is actually the team that registers points. This could be the game coming up here. Spider.
Cooper and Linnett jamming in on Friday. There was a heavy collision there. Now for Gillett. 30 metres out, middle of the ground.
The Broncos' attacking plan all through the finals has been head to the centre of the field and off wide. Normally goes to the left-hand side.
So McCulloch for Friday. Here's Milford. Now Boyd bouncing and probably knocked on by Oates.
Here it is.
They weren't ready for that play then, the Broncos. Number one, they're fatigued from all the defence they've done at the other end, but they never really set up for that properly. And Corey Oates is blowing up.
Don't go in.
It wasn't on. And they pushed the ball through the hands, and they've come up with an unforced error just when they started to garner the back a little bit of momentum. There was nothing really there for them. Cowboys had them covered. Someone had to dummy and dig into the line, get a quick play of the ball and go again. You can't just keep sending it sideways and dumping the problem off to someone else. Someone's got to dig into the line, take them on.
10 minutes to go. We're down to the last 10 minutes. Played by O'Neill, Thurston, Linnett, and Hunt is there making the tackle with McCulloch and Blair. So Granville, now to Taumalolo. 8 metres his own side of halfway. Granville generating the blind side. Coote breaking the tackle of McCulloch, taken by Blair. 40-metre line. Opposition end of ground. Here it is with Asiata. Out to Thurston. Behind and to ground and cleaned up by Thurston.
Oh, he did well to get back and get that. Milford was nearly on it.
This is the last tackle. Morgan. He kicks high. Boyd is back peddling. It's gone to ground. He said knock backwards off Boyd. It's with Kahu.
Knock backwards. He was never going to catch it.
Boyd.
Did it go backwards?
Thurston had played the football and Michael Morgan had to come up with a kick.
Oh, how's that not a knock on? Oh, he's held it.
Corey Oates.
Well, if he wasn't so tall, he wouldn't have caught that.
He got the extender arms out there.
You talk about marking things down as a turning point in the game. We better mark that one down too. The catch, or otherwise, by Darius Boyd when he did part company with it. Did it go backwards off the hands? Here's Hunt.
Deliver it again.
Just finding the line down at the junction of the 20-metre line.
You can stand up, but don't leave the scrum. Hey, Michael, just play just a tad long until I'm ready.
Don't go
Keep that tunnel clear there. Wait there, mate. Let's go. Here we go, Adam.
So the scrum packs on the 20-metre line as we welcome you back. And we've got 8.5 minutes of the grand final to go. Brisbane leading by 16 to 12. And this is Asiata. He's been very busy since he came on. Now it's Granville looking to give it to Taumalolo. Wrapped up by Parker. Here's Tamo running at Parker. Friday goes around the legs. They're 7 metres into Brisbane's territory, and Thurston joins in. Oh! Absolutely smashed by Blair. He really pulled the curtain down there. Big kick by Morgan. Boyd is with it. Lowe is with him. So is O'Neill. Now for Jack Reed to go to Corey Oates.
They're a tired football team, Brisbane. He didn't think so from that tackle. He was just holding it up as late as he could, Jonathan Thurston. And Blair struck.
Glenn taken by Morgan and O'Neill. Matthew Scott have to come back for. Well, here's Ben Hunt making a break, stepping. Morgan's got him from behind. Last tackle for Brisbane. Milford's got the ball, puts a kick in, covered by Thurston.
Look who's there.
Hodges beats him. McCulloch makes the tackle.
Jonathan Thurston. Brilliant work by Benny Hunt. Thurston covers up. Down to under 7 minutes to go now. Next try wins. We're in that territory. Next try wins.
Played by Linnett. Granville comes back to Taumalolo. Parker goes underneath. Blair goes up the top. Granville again. Now to Thurston. Behind a decoy. Here's Morgan. Pulled out on the 40-metre line by Milford. 6 on 6. Now Thurston shapes to kick. Beats Thaiday. Gets it to Granville. Granville's kick going down to Kahu. Kahu was able to run it back some 15 metres.
A lot of tired boys out there from both sides. Gee whiz, what a cracking game.
We haven't seen a try since the 34th minute. We may not see one.
Brisbane have taken a couple of lazy tackles here, just making sure that they go to the ground. It's imperative that they take the ball up as we see a great run taken by Corey Oates to gain 10.
And now Milford dances his way up to the halfway line.
This is where all the training comes in. All those hours spent going up and down the field, hours in front of video, hours talking about what you do under pressure. You've got to get it done now. Hunt again goes to the sideline. He sticks with his plan. He gives his defence a rest. But this is what Wayne Bennett talks about, not having to think about it and muscle memory. Just doing it from memory, just letting it flow.
Stand up.
5 minutes to go on the clock. You lead the grand final by 4. Can you get us home from here? They'll have simulated this exercise at training so many times during the year. The Cowboys too will have simulated. We're 4 behind with 5 to play. How do we get the try to win the game?
Adam, here we go.
Here's the dressing room at half-time. Wayne Bennett with his troops. A lot of the troops outside talking amongst themselves, having their own meeting. Bennett on his own, contemplating the last words that he would say before they go out for the last half of football of the season. But he entrusts a lot into his generals on the field to get it done. And this is where you've got to trust them the most.
Tamo then dropping his ball back to Morgan. Gus is talking about our most successful coach in Australia in the modern era. 7 grand finals for 7 victories. He lost one in Canberra when he was not the head coach. But he's talking about coaching royalty when he talks about Wayne Bennett. Now Scott, here's Thurston, and this is Lowe. Backing out. 18 metres out and losing the ball, does he? Yes!
Milford, another one-on-one strip.
Well, important the Broncos follow a pattern from here. Bennett would have got it into their minds the entire season, but in the last week, he would have gone to town at it. Play safe, respect your opposition, but slow the clock.
Jack Reed, in a team performance, he's been brilliant tonight, Jack Reed, in both departments, and a couple of times I thought he was going to have to come off. Blair will play the ball to McCulloch, and he goes to Reed, and Reed basically backs into Morgan and says, tackle me. And McCulloch it is now that winds it down finding the line at the 10-metre junction.
Yeah, again, another walk and a rest to do their next defensive set. Both teams now know next try wins. Corey Parker, 36 tackles, 17 hit-ups. He leads the tackle count and the run count for his side. Milford on low with a great surge but loses the ball. Milford comes up with it. They're all important moments. It adds to the frustration of the Cowboys.
Thanks, Adam.
And builds the confidence for the Broncos.
Yeah, they took a long time to set that scrum, the Cowboys. They wasted valuable seconds there. That's the fatigue. They've had to form a scrum down there 4 or 5 times in the last 10 minutes. They've got to start taking a couple of chances now. They're at the wrong end of the field.
They've still got Thurston.
Oh, this could be a dangerous tackle here from Hunt. He's certainly been lifted above the horizontal. Kane Linnett. The tackler is Ben Hunt.
Who is it? Ben Hunt?
It's down inside the Cowboys' 20-metre line.
Well, as harsh as it may sound, Ray, North Queensland needed a penalty. It's a tough way about going about getting one. And Ben Hunt gets him into an awfully dangerous position. But this will get North Queensland further down the field with a full complement.
Listen to this.
Okay, here we go. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. Thurston and his troops have got to craft out a try to win.
I know it's strange, but they needed that.
Imperative that the Broncos work on their defence. The first 3 tackles, they've got to try and restrict the territory that the Cowboys make.
So the free kick by Granville. Oh, gee, awful pass to Coote.
Well, he did well to catch it.
He had to have tentacles to catch it. Thurston for Scott. Glenn is there in the front line. 5 metres into Brisbane's territory. It's gone through the general. Gone on to Taumalolo. If ever he needed to be like Sonny Bill Williams, now is the time. Granville, Thurston, Morgan, and pulled down by Milford, who said he can't tackle. Now Thurston on the half volley. Oh, and a great tackle by Thaiday. 20 metres out. This is the last tackle. Granville goes himself, puts a kick in. It's cleaned up by Reid.
And what that wonderful tackle did, it didn't only cut the territory that North Queensland make, it took Jonathan Thurston away from being the kick option.
Well, 28 minutes ago, I said that 16-12 was the score that finished 3 weeks ago. And Broncos would do well if that was the score at full time. They've only got a minute to go.
Thaiday. Now Parker.
They'll get one shot at it. They'll have another possession, the Cowboys.
So Milford steps away from one, gets out of another. He's outside the 40. He's cleared his own half, got the ball away. Back to Hunt. Ball is taken. 1-on-1 by Felt.
1 minute to go for a fairy
O'Neill,
tale.
Coote, Thurston, comes to halfway. It's gone off Linnett, gone backwards. So 45 seconds to go in the grand final. Antonio Winterstein, 42 metres out from the line. Granville for Taumalolo. Taumalolo to the 30-metre line. He played it quickly to Granville. Granville on to Tamo. Tamo 15 away. Got a ball away to Morgan. Morgan to Thurston. Thurston to Scott. Scott taken to ground. 12 out.
1 to go.
Tackle 5. This is the last. It's bounced away to Thurston. Comes up Blair. Got rid of Blair. Pushes away from McCulloch. Thurston gets the ball to Morgan. Morgan crosses the 20. Comes away to O'Neill. Gets the ball away. And Felt has scored. Felt has scored in the corner. Look at the box. It's a try.
Well, if
They've got a kick. They got a kick to win it.
Kick to win it.
Well, if you don't believe in fairy tales, we might see the giant fairy tale of all time. Here right now with Thurston, a kick from the sideline to win a premiership for the Cowboys.
Oh, Michael Morgan created something out of absolutely nothing. We're looking at the sideline with Kyle Felt. He's a mile inside it. Nobody near him. Just put the ball down properly. Yes, they've got a kick to win it.
Can you believe that? And Jonathan Thurston's walking away on his own. He's taken the headgear off. He's walking backwards. And he's thinking about probably the biggest moment in his whole career. Everything that he's ever done. The hours of practice. The time spent alone. Kicking goals in the park. Hour after hour. And despite being exhausted, he's got to kick one from the touchline to win his team a premiership.
Well, have a look at the work here from Michael Morgan, who Jonathan Thurston was desperate to get the football to. Gets outside Milford, who tracks 3 defenders, a one-arm pass out to the winger. And Jonathan Thurston has a kick to it. Did we say before this game it could go down to the death?
Well, the clock had hit 0. The clock had hit 0 when he scurries in to put that ball down. And now look at Thurston. He's really taking his time here to compose himself. The rest of the team are talking about Golden Point. They're over there saying if he misses this, we've got to go again. Thurston is taking his own time to think there'll be no Golden Point. I'm going to nail this. I'm going to nail this for the Cowboys. Here he comes. One of the greatest of all time. One kick, one moment in time.
This will be his crowning glory. The fulfillment of his destiny. Jonathan Thurston to lead North Queensland to a maiden premiership.
Their 21st season. They have been to one. That was a decade ago. This is the best team they've ever fielded. He is the best player they've ever had. And the amount of people willing this over is astronomical.
All these teammates are up here. They're all talking about Golden Point. They're getting themselves composed if he misses this. Thurston's taking an incredible amount of time here, and you can appreciate that. He's put his headgear back on. We know that he's had groin problems, calf problems. He hasn't been kicking well.
No previous grand final, by the way, has ever been decided in Golden Point. These teams never previously have met in Golden Point. Brisbane, 12 games of Golden Point have won 7. North Queensland, 12 games of Golden Point have won 6. Jonathan Thurston is 21 metres out, 1 metre in from touch. That's the hooded version you saw of Sam Fido.
John,
from captain to legend to immortality, perhaps, for Jonathan Thurston.
You see the referee just went up and made him say, hang on, Jonathan, you've pushed that ball an extra foot inside. Take it back to where the mark is.
It's more like 4 or 5 inches, not a foot.
I still think he's got a little way in.
Well,
oh boy.
All he can do is just give him silence here.
And I think that might be the golden thing to do. If he kicks this, let's stop and listen to the crowd. JT. 4 times Dally M Player of the Year. Golden Boot winner. 4 times Players Player of the Year. Can he do it? It looks to me as it's taken the steel work. This is a horror movie.
Wow.
What else can this grand final provide?
Wow. It was curling back as it always does for Thurston. Curling back. Bang. He stays down. He looks up. It's coming. It's coming. It's leaning.
Oh, he was going to say yes.
What about that, Gordon? Tell us.
That would have been the greatest moment in grand final history. It was amazing. Jonathan Thurston, he took his time. That's experience. And you're right, it was coming. I stood right behind him. It looked like it was going through. It looked like it. Oh, who painted the goalposts?
Well, Ray, just explain to our viewers now, many of them maybe not necessarily watch a lot of rugby league, what happens now?
Well, they now have this 2-minute break, and then they go into 5 minutes and swing around. There's the two captains, the two Indigenous captains. First time in a grand final. One of them retires, Justin Hodges. The other's trying to win his first grand final for North Queensland. And Justin said, we'll run to the southern end.
Wow.
So it's 5 by 5. In fact, the second 5 basically goes on into eternity. We could be here till tomorrow morning, but I don't think so.
I'd love to interview the football gods one day and say, why didn't you let that go through? Why is it that you denied him that moment? What are they possibly thinking to deny him and us that moment? That's incredible, isn't it?
Well, if they are to get home in Golden Point, he may well be the man.
Well, they might have a bigger moment for him, but as if that moment wasn't big enough to give it to the biggest name in our game. Wow.
And if the players aren't going to be under pressure as this game progresses in the opening set, we've got to remember the referees are.
The most dramatic grand final that I can remember. So, from right to left, the Cowboys. Hunter's knocked on. Ben Hunter's sunken with disappointment.
Well, they've gone over to congratulate Kyle Felt for the kickoff. That's something they've obviously practiced, that kick of Kyle Felt, a la Pat Richards. Now, I'm wondering, if you set a scrum here, you won't get a better opportunity to kick a field goal than to just pass it straight from the scrum base to Jonathan Thurston standing 20 metres out in front to win the game.
And look where he's standing, Sterlo.
He'll stand players in front of him.
Yep. Can use them as a block.
He'll have a shot here if he can just get good service. He needs a good pass from the scrum base.
He's kicked 5 field goals this year. North Queensland have kicked 6. Lachlan Cooter's got 1. Jonathan has got 5. So they're setting it up. They're going to go straight for it.
Well, they got Lachlan Coote off to the left as well. So if they rush at Thurston, he will throw it to Coote, or he'll kick it himself.
Hold Anthony! Hold Alex!
They're going to go straight away by the look of it.
Hold!
Glanville is the lock forward.
Come on. Let's carry it on. Let's go.
Yeah, Morgan's feeding it.
Let's just scrum his spot point.
Glanville, his pass will be important.
The first grand final Golden Point. Here it goes back to Thurston. They rush up on him, and they are able to prevent the kick.
Coote's in position.
So Coote is now in position, but it's gone to Taumalolo. Lachlan Coote is standing very, very deep. It's gone away to Thurston again. He's gone back to Coote. No, he stammers. He runs with the ball. He gets it to Linnett, and Linnett is tackled 12 metres out. Incredible Brisbane defence. Tamo, 12 metres out in front. Thurston to choose from with Coote. He hits it, he's got it! He's got the field goal! He's got the premiership! He has gone from, as I said, a captain to a legend, and probably rugby league immortality. It's about this. Silence is golden. Tell this crowd that. Look at this. Magnetic island, John. It might well belong to you. I was only jesting.
I've never seen anything like it. And I'm so glad I was here to see it.
Most dramatic grand final I've ever seen, Peter. So from Longreach, Mount Isa, Winton, remember them? Richmond, Blackall and Emerald, and all those towns, Charters Towers. And you are celebrating. You have got every right to celebrate.
You know what, Ray? I reckon there was more pressure on that kick than the one from the sideline. They knew it was golden point if he missed it. If they mucked that up, they might never have got a better opportunity than that one. Well,
let's go to Yvonne Sampson. Yvonne.
Oh, Ray, it's just unbelievable down here. I'm going to let JT enjoy. Jonathan, well, you thought you had the match winner. You just made us wait a little bit longer for it.
I'm speechless, eh? Can't believe it.
You're shaking. You're physically shaking. What's happening for you?
I can't believe it. That's what we've just done. I love these boys. They've worked so hard. They work so hard. I see them every day. The sacrifices they make. What they do for us every day. I love the club. Wow, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
To pick yourself up from that missed conversion and to set yourself for what was the greatest grand final decider we've ever seen. Congratulations, JT. You're an absolute champion. We knew it all along.
Thanks very much, buddy.
Well, they've won not only the premiership, they've won the club championship as well. Coach Paul Green making his way out to his team. And there it is, an embrace with young David Furner, one of his offsider coaches, with John Cartwright.
Yeah, I think speechless speaks volumes. Brad Fittler.
Yeah, got co-captain Matt Scott. Can you explain how you feel?
Oh, mate, you'd know, but I just can't explain it. Just so proud of the boys, the effort they showed against such a quality opposition, you know, and just the ability to be able to stick with it, and, you know, just keep turning up for each other.
What about JT's kick from the sideline?
I thought he had it. I was running over to him. I thought he'd nailed it, but mate, I said to him before he kicked it, I said, look, no pressure, mate. We've got this, because I could feel we were getting on top of them, and you know, the longer the game went on, the better we got.
What would the scenes in Townsville be like at the moment?
Oh, mate, it'd be mayhem. Look, and so it should be. You know, 20 years and such a proud and such a great region for rugby league, and you know, 20 years through the highs and lows, and you know, we've finally got a premiership to bring home to them.
Did your family come down?
Yeah, look, family from obviously my wife and son came down from Townsville. The rest of my family drove 800 k's to Townsville, then had to fly down to here. So, look, just means so much to have them here with me, and yeah, it's just great to be able to share this moment with them as well.
Congratulations. A lot of people work really hard for this night for you fellas.
Thanks, Freddie.
And your town.
Thanks, mate.
Michael Morgan, talk us through the greatest grand final ever.
Mate, I can't. It's unbelievable. You know, they're a very good side, and we had to hang in there. It was a bit similar to the first week of the finals, but you know, we were able to hang in there, and you know, John Owen's a champion, and it's unreal.
To beat good sides, you got to go down to the wire. You got to be prepared to go 80 minutes. Talk us through that pass.
Mate, I don't know. It was the last thing we could have come up with, so I'm thankful it come off, but it's unbelievable.
Talk us through, what does this mean for the region?
Mate, it's unbelievable, you know, being from the region, you know how much it means to everyone. You know, it's that many people here tonight that drove down from, you know, Cairns and Townsville. It's unreal, you know, their commitment's awesome, and it's just, you know, it's awesome to do it for the whole region, whole of North Queensland.
As a Queenslander, I love you. As a North Queenslander, I love you more. Over to you, Bonnie.
I love you too.
Cheers.
Well, Sammy, I just can't imagine what you're feeling right now. As soon as that decision was made, you dropped to your knees and you haven't moved. I saw Wayne come over. What did he say?
I don't even know what Wayne said, but 1 minute, that's all it took to lose the grand final tonight. So a couple of probably fundamental errors from myself, things I usually don't do in a game. Probably missed that tackle in the line against Tarmow, dropped that ball coming out of our end in the second half, and little things like that end up costing you the game. And we're 1 minute away from winning that, and just couldn't seal the deal, Vonnie.
That's a tough one to take, but I think when the disappointment subsides, you'll realise that you were just part of one of the best grand finals we've ever seen.
Yeah, it was surely a tough old game. One that's probably going to go down in history. First time two Queensland teams have played in a grand final. Let's hope it's not the last time. I'm sure with their squad and our squad, if we can keep them together over the next few years, who knows, we might be back in this situation.
No Sydney teams, no one cared. It was absolutely terrific tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, huge thanks to all of our fans and members who travelled down to support us, all of our Sydney-based members as well. It's been a fantastic year. We've had a lot of support every time we've come down to Sydney, and it's great to see a packed house here. And like I said, hopefully we'll be in this situation again.
You'll be back next year, Sammy. Freddie?
Thanks, Ivani. Bernie, what does this mean to Townsville and the whole North Queensland?
Mate, I'm a little bit speechless when you think about it in those terms. It's such a rugby league area, and I said during the week that some of the farmers and the economy up there have been doing it tough, but this is a great piece of news. We've been trying to do this for 20 years now, and we've finally brought a premiership home to North Queensland. It's just unbelievable, mate.
What do you think the reactions will be when you get home tomorrow?
Oh, they'll be going nuts, and so they should, because this premiership, the boys won it out there, but it's for everyone up there that's not only played in the NRL and represented the Cowboys, but you go back through Foley Shield teams. It's got a proud history up there. It's not just about the Cowboys, and it means so much to everyone up there. And I hope the whole of North Queensland turns out at the airport when we get home tomorrow.
I'm sure they will. It was a brilliant team effort, and it took over 80 minutes. But what about the captain, Jonathan Thurston? What have you got to say about him?
Oh, mate, he's unbelievable. When he took that goal, I don't think there was any other player. If I could pick anyone, he'd be the one I'd want to take that goal. Wasn't to be, but he iced the game for us when he got his chance. So, yeah, look, he's had a magnificent year, and I think tonight just caps that off for him.
Congratulate you, a moment in the sun. Enjoy the spoils.
Thanks, mate, I will.
Thanks. Off to you, Rabs.
There's been some lovely pictures there over the interviews. You saw Jonathan Thurston embracing young Ben Hunt, picking him up off the ground, basically, and telling him not to let it bother him too much. Then you saw him with Samantha and Frankie, one of his two young children. Just some wonderful scenes. Wayne Bennett, of course, down there congratulating his players, and of course the North Queensland Cowboys. Here it is. Here is the moment that ended the grand final and just made this celebration even crazier than it already was. What a fabulous grand final. Two sides from Queensland. They'd never played here before. We'd never had Golden Point before. We had two Indigenous captains, one retiring, one about to enter immortality. It was just a night to remember. And these two Queensland sides have provided us with memories that will never die. So much more still to come. Straight after the break, the official presentation. Who will be the Clive Churchill Medal winner, the VB hard-earned man of the match, all the interviews and emotion of the victory lap. The coaches, the players, live and free on the home of rugby league. I hope you've enjoyed it. Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a night to be a part of history. Did you enjoy that? What a way to wrap up the 2015 Telstra Premiership with a history-making grand final here at 80 ANZ Stadium. I'd like to welcome our official guest to the stage. First up, John Grant, the ARLC Chairman, the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Malcolm Turnbull, Joe Pollard, Group Managing Director, Media and Marketing Telstra, the Premier of New South Wales, the Honourable Mike Baird, the Premier of Queensland, the Honourable Anastasia Palaszczuk, and Rodney Churchill. Also on the celebration stage, the great Arthur Summons and the NRL CEO, Dave Smith. First up, it's time to announce the winner of the Clive Churchill Medal for our Man of the Match, voted on by the Australian selectors. And the winner of the Clive Churchill Medal for 2015 from the North Queensland Cowboys, Jonathan Thurston! An immortal in an immortal game. Congratulations to Jonathan Thurston.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. Firstly, I just want to congratulate the Broncos on an outstanding season. You've done your members, your family, and your club extremely proud. I want to thank our boys. I couldn't be standing up here without you. I love you to death. To the fans that show up and watch us play every week, week in, week out. This is why we play the game. To our coaching staff, I can't thank you enough for what you've done over the last couple of years. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. The NRL would like to recognise the match officials for their participation in the 2015 Telstra Premiership Grand Final. I invite them to the stage to accept the memento from the Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull. Referee, Jared Sutton. Assistant referee, Ben Cummins. The touch judges, Brett Sutter and Steve Carell. The video referees, Bernard Sutton and Luke Patton. Give them a warm round of applause. Now I'd like to invite the Broncos, the runners-up and the captain, Justin Hodges. Welcome them to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Tonight couldn't happen without you guys, so thanks to all the supporters, whether you support the Broncos or the Cowboys. Thank you. To the Cowboys, well done, boys. You've been the quality side all year. You worked hard to get to the place you are tonight, and you're led by one of the greatest players of all time in Thursday. So congratulations, boys. Well done, Greenie. To my boys, Wayne, all the coaching staff, all my lads, I love yous like brothers. Keep your heads up, and you'll be back here next year with that ring, I promise you. So thank you for everything. Love yous. And to my family, thank you for all your support through my career. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So I love my family, and to all the Broncos fans back home, we're sorry, but this group of men will get it done for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Warm round of applause for the Broncos as they come up to collect their medals. Thank you, Broncos. A warm round of applause. Takes two teams to make a grand final. And this is one to remember, one for the ages. It's now time to welcome to the stage to accept their premiership rings for 2015, the Telstra Premiers, the North Queensland Cowboys. First up, Lachlan Coote. Kyle Felt. Justin O'Neill. Kane Linnett. Antonio Winterstein. Michael Morgan. Jonathan Thurston. Jake Granville. James Tamo. Gavin Cooper. Ethan Lowe. Jason Taumalolo. Rory Kos-Jason. John Asiata. Scott Bolton. Ben Hennett. Coach Paul Green. And the captains, Jonathan Thurston and Matt Scott. A word from the co-captains.
Do you want to start?
Firstly, and obviously, thank you to the Broncos for such a tough game. Look, they're the ultimate competitors. So great to play another Queensland side in the grand final. As JT said before, to the guys who missed out, this really is, you can't go through a whole year without the full squad contributing to this success, and I can't thank the guys standing over there enough. Such a wonderful job they did for us during the year. To our boys, I'm so proud of you, hanging in for so long against, like I said, a very tough side. Thank you to all our families who made the trip down. We can't do this without you. The board, the coaching staff, the HBU, every person that works behind the scenes at the club, thank you very much. We couldn't have done it without you.
Lastly, I just want to say North Queensland deserves a new stadium Thank you.
The Prime Minister has put his hand up to shout for a new stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 NRL Telstra Premiers, the North Queensland Cowboys. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the official presentation. Please join me in thanking the official party and congratulations to the Queensland Cowboys.
Well, right down to the song about giving your love to a Cowboy, man. It's just been an extraordinary grand final. What a story it is for the Cowboys. Write that score down, 17-16 Cowboys. It's a score for the ages and a great boost to North Queensland. So many people are still here, 82,758 seats filled, and most of them are still filled because the people who are here tonight know that they've been part of something special and they're still soaking it up. We'll be back on the Wide World of Sports with the Lap of Honour and much more to come.
He hits it, he's got it!